Now I'll just do and copy this. I'll do the golden section back to the top view, and so it's putting through old understandings as we would know them, the most ancient technology. And I'm going to take this from the midpoint to the endpoint. No, that's not an arc, that's a cut. There it is. From our midpoint there to our endpoint there. And that measure is more accurate than any number calculation that we can ever generate. That takes some time to get your head around. But once you see this, you realize it's an incredibly accurate system. So I'm going to copy this, copy and paste, and paste. I'm going to rotate that, and there. That's one of them, and then another one is there. I'm going to rotate that there, and that looks about right. Okay, just going to move this forward so it's out of the line of view of the others, and draw a diagonal line to allow me to understand what is upright. Front, rotate. And it's as simple sets of line drawings that puts this whole system together. So the icosahedron, I'm going to do this in a different colour blue. Connect the top to there. And this is how the whole system was understood, by simple line drawings. I didn't get the computers to do anything for me other than making sure that it was precise. And it fitted together. Ancient technologies. No, that's wrong. It's very easy to lose your way here. So a bit of movement helps you understand the space that you're in. So I'll turn this off, go back to this, and I'm going to get my center points. Fill those in. Not that one. And I'm going to rotate that 5 times. 5. Enter. And save. And now we can see, if I turn my layer back on, there is the golden section inside of it. As it was originally constructed, there's the icosahedron. And then finally, the dodecahedron. And this one is to connect up those center points of the icosahedron. It's so simple, it's such a brilliant system. And you see, this is how Da Vinci did it, Archimedes did it, and it's the basis to the understanding of the holographic system, that it's actually not solids, they're reflections. And the final part, as I put this together, it was through looking at cymatics that provoked me to ask the questions in this way. Now, we've had this understanding of what we call the jewels inside of each of these forms. We've had that understanding since we've understood these forms. But it's been left as a solid concept, not as a transparent construction, which is which provoked this research. And I'm going to repeat this 5 times around that central hub. And there we have our icosahedron, our dodecahedron inside of our icosahedron, based on the golden section that came from our parent form there. Now, that cube is this golden section that goes across. That's the base to the cube, and this is in relationship. They're all born inside of one reflection, and eventually, when I put them all together, this is what I arrived at. Let's take, say, this one. This is an icosahedron. Inside of the icosahedron, it contains the cube. This one's got all of the shapes inside of it as they pulse. The dodecahedron, we see its relationship there inside of the icosahedron, perfectly pinned together by its center points of the icosahedron. Here we have the octahedron that goes to its midpoints perfectly seated inside of the icosahedron, and then the tetrahedron. If we go to another one, the cube as the primary parent form, inside we then have the dodecahedron. We then have, no sorry, that was the icosahedron. This is the dodecahedron inside of the cube. There it is, the octahedron as in center point to center point, the tetrahedron, and here the star tetrahedron, which is 2 tetrahedrons, and so on and so forth. This is the dodecahedron. There it is with the cube inside, and this file will be online for people to be able to inspect, and they all come from the golden section. And the measure of 1 comes from the cube. And that's how I discovered the holographic constructional system, on the basis of the speculations that came, or that come from, cymatics, the reflection. Thank you.